This one's, I know what it is because you told me right before, and this one feels not like a hack, but I'm going to let you sell me on it.
Great. Here's why I'm going to sell you on it. And this is by far my favorite, because this is what I was before a tax guy, is an accountant, somebody that worked with financial statements. And tax hack number 3 is your accounting, your bookkeeping, the bean counting, green visor, sitting in the back of the office, crunching your numbers, organizing your numbers. And here's why it's a hack. For 2 reasons. An investor and owner's whole goal should be to preserve their wealth, preserve their capital. How do they lose their capital? Taxes and fees. Good accounting is going to give you cheaper fees. The example I give, you come to a good accountant and your fee for something is $1,000. You come to an accountant and you're messy, your fee is now $1,800 because they are now spending the time doing what you should have been doing. And it's always going to come with a markup because it's delayed, it's late. So my argument there is you're going to save in professional fees by being organized. And 2 is your tax bill. For any tax planning to occur, you have to have good financial statements, right? I need to understand where we're going to land with no planning and say, hey, your tax bill is going to be $175,000. But now that we have things organized, we can bring it to 115, 90, whatever the case is. But in order to get there, I need good financial information to evaluate. And so that's why for me, it's any tax talk I do, I leave, no matter how complex. It can be with a new group. It can be with a very high-level syndication, doctors, dentists, people running their own practices, and now they're putting money in these deals. So very sophisticated financial people. But I always end with good books and good record keeping because that's what allows people that are great to stay great, and it's what allows people that aren't so great to get there. They're going to have to go through that mud of keeping good financial records.
I'm with you. Okay, I get it. I think my when I was like, wait a minute, I'm thinking like tax hacks that the wealthy use to pay nothing in taxes, right? Like how does that actually help? Bookkeeping doesn't. I think it's very important. You've gotten very angry at me over my bookkeeping until recently. I think we're working on it finally. Thank goodness. Thank you, Baseline. But basically, like I didn't see it the way you explained it, which I guess even from a core principle standpoint, categorizing your expenses correctly. Like if you miss big expenses that are actually like business expenses and you're not catching that in your bookkeeping, then you are just saving. Like you're not reducing your taxable income the way that you should be at the end of the day, right?
Well, yeah. So to your point of how specifically is it truly a tax hack? If you have poor record keeping and you're in a 40% tax bracket, which is not that crazy, right? Between federal and state, every dollar you miss is 40 cents in tax. You miss a $100 deduction here, a $1,000 deduction there, a $10,000 expense for something that you didn't know if you could expense or not. So you charged it personally and never revisited it with your accountant. $4,000 right there. And it's the exact example of it's death by 1,000 cuts.
And it adds up. That to me makes a ton of sense just because, yeah, $1,000 here, $500 here, 10,000 here. Yeah. Like if you miss that's substantial. Like that is like on $100,000 of missed expenses at, full scale operator, all that good jazz. I mean, it's 20, 30K in taxes you could be offsetting basically, right?
Think about somebody with 15 rentals or 4 different businesses that they're running. The more you expand your own portfolio, the more accounting needs to occur, the more frequent it needs to be. And so that's where it is a bigger risk for people the bigger they get if they don't pay attention to it.
Okay. You sold me. Hey, by the way, if you liked this conversation, I've got good news for you. There's way more where that came from. If you want to watch the whole thing, click right here.